Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. So we have the new Harbi bus stations open soon. For the international scene, Spain declares state of natural disaster. Portugal fight the flames. Welcome to our newsroom. The bus station of the Place Harbi will soon open its door. The completion of these stations accelerates, could be ready in this beginning of school years. This was the objective of the visit made on the ground by the mayor of the city in the company of the Minister of Interior and the Minister of Environment. The mayor, always accompanied by the two ministers, meet with the head of the company in charges of the constructions to inquire about the progress of the work. Indeed, these bus stations, through which thousands of people transit every day, has been redesigned to better channel the flow of transport, including departures and arrivals. For these people, the entire square has been covered and benches have been provided to accommodate this flow. This initiative is part of the modernizations of the city of Djibouti, a vision dear to the President of the Republic, a vision to which the new mayor of the city fully adheres. IGAD, in collaboration with the German cooperation GIZ and the Djiboutian government, organized a two-day consultation meeting on the Djibouti National Education Response Plan for the implementation of the Djibouti Declaration on Education for Refugee, Returnees and Host Communities. The meeting took place at the Sunny Hill Center in the idyllic setting of the tourist town of Arta. Dr. Kebede Tesgaye, IGAD Director General, recalled that IGAD has been mandated to support the development and implementation of a multi-year costed national education intervention plans to ensure inclusive education for refugees, refugee IDPs and returnees, as well as host communities. Accordingly, IGAD has been working with the member state and partners to develop costed plans. Some of them have already adopted their plans and have already started implementation. Others, like Djibouti, Somalia, and Kenya, are still working on their plans. He said, developing their plans, he concluded.
The declaration, we call it the Costed National Education Response Plan for the effective implementation of the Djibouti Declaration. Many of you may know the Djibouti Declaration was adopted in December 2017 in Djibouti, and over the last 5 years, IGAD, its partners, and the member states have been implementing the different key priorities of the Djibouti Declaration. And we are very grateful for the government and the people of Djibouti, both for taking the lead in the adoption of the Djibouti Declaration 5 years ago, and also in preparing the national costed plan for successful implementation of that piece of commitment, especially, as His Excellency earlier said, the integration of refugee education into the national education system.
For the President of the Regional Council and the Prefect of Arta, Mohammed Sheikh Hassan, have indicated that IGAD supported the member states in developing and implementing costed plans for national education response plan for the implementation of the Djibouti Declaration. The Djibouti Declaration amplifies the need to accelerate the inclusion of refugees in national education system and to ensure that no one is left behind in terms of access to education, skills development, capacity building. After the capital and the regions of the interior, the State Secretariat in charge of sports has set up a new strategy to develop the sports by organizing events even in the localities and the most remote areas of the countries, the summer games. In this perspective, the locality of Ali Adde hosted the final of its second editions of the summer games thanks to the ARA Association in collaboration with the sub-prefecture of Ali Adde, the regional sub-directorate of sport, but also with the unfailing support of the State Secretariat for Sport. These sports activities are carried out to the great pleasure of the young Ali Addi's multi-community. It is under the leadership of the State Secretariat in charge of sports that the ARA Sport Association had given the kickoff of this event that lasted 3 weeks under a warm welcome from the population of Ali Adde to the Secretary of State for Sports. This sporting event were closed this Monday, August 22, 2022, and so the participation of the State Secretariat for Sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, accompanied by members of his department, regional authorities, the sub-prefect, the head of the villages of Ali Adde, the deputy director of sport, the acting president of the association ARA, the elders of the locality, the sub-locality, civil military executives, but especially the various population of this locality, local Ethiopian refugees, Somalian, and Eritrean, who have been living together for 30 years with a total integration. The caravan of the promotion and safeguarding of the GST continues in the northern region. On Monday, after the regions of South, the caravan in the framework of promotion and transmission of the GST continued in the regions of the north, untiring and committed to this policy of safeguarding and transmitting of elements of our cultural heritage to our youth to be impregnated. The Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hiba Mumin Alsowe, has sent his technical teams responsible for these operations in the region of Tajura, whose cultural wealth force our admiration and arouse our pride while forging our cultural identity. Thus, on Mondays, August 2022, a team led by the technical advisor of the Ministry of Culture and Youth, Idris Musa Ahmed, and including enthusiasts of cultures, began its launch in the white city of Tajura. The launch meeting held in the CDC of Tajura and chaired by the prefect of Tajura, Hassan Dabel Ahmed, in the presence of the local personalities such as the prefect of the region, the general elders Hassan Shehem, the commanders of the National Police, Mr. Ilmi, and the former president of the regional council, Mr. Hassan Hussein. In the afternoons, the team took advantage of this trip to go to the beautiful city of Randa as part of this awareness for the preservation of our cultural heritage. During the speech, the technical advisor of the Ministry of Youth and Culture, Mr. Idris Musa Ahmed, thanked the authorities and the population of Tajura, conveyed the greetings of His Excellency the Minister Dr. Hiba Mumin Alsowe. He stressed how the safeguarding by the transmission of cultural heritage is a national priority, and for this case, the GST cultural capital that hold all our attentions. Indeed, it is by safeguarding and transmitting these traditional games of society and many others through a tournament, intra-regional and inter-regional, that safeguarding of our heritage. The prefect of Tajura region, Hassan Dabel Ahmed, emphasized that the safeguard is located by the establishment of the Directory of Endangered GST. He continued his intervention by specifying these activities of safeguarding and transmission of the GST to the new generation will be done by the elaboration of the blockade available at the level of the CDC of the localities and in the schools, while insisting that the GST will be digitized to make them easily accessible. It is very hot. Our productivity suffers. We have trouble getting around towns, and yet we would like to reverse the situation. The Japanese champion of new technology have found the solution for several years now, thanks to an amazing invention of air conditioning jacket. Listen to this report.
In this this period of extreme heat, our performance is affected. We have trouble getting around in the city, and yet we will still want to reserve the situation. The Japanese leaders in new technologies have founded the solution for several years now, thanks to an amazing invention, an air conditioned jacket. Since a few days, the air conditioned jacket has made its appearance in Djibouti, and we were eager to test it, a product for a general public, but especially for workers who are exposed to heat and sun. Hassan Ali is a construction worker who had never heard of this technology, and when we lent him to the jacket, he was amazed. So we let him work all morning with this new tool under the curious eyes of his colleague. But what interests is Hassan is the incredible change that he has just noticed. He said, "It is very positive. The difference is huge. I had never seen once before. It will be nice if we could all wear it, especially during Ramadan. We needed these jackets, so there is no sweat, no fatigue. We will work harder, more every day." Even in October, the sun is beating down on the city, making it difficult to get in work. So that's why the air conditioned jacket is the most energy efficient. A jacket that cool thanks to two fans that stir up the 2 liters of air presence between the bodies and the fabric. These are powered by a battery that has 8 hours of operating time at full capacity and all removable.
For many, going on vacations means going abroad, while for others, you can take a vacations and stay in the countries. It is those who make the choice, for example, of the vacation center of Dai, an ideal place in altitude. A look at this center of Dai in this report, the Associations for the Development and the Protection of the Environment of the locality of Dai, in which Djibouti Nature's national focal points of the networks organizing an awareness campaign to the environment, followed by a cleaning of the servants. The event brought together the inhabitants and including the members of the association Sirido, school children, high school students and university natives of the area. The sub-prefect of Randa, Adan Muhammad Dawood, also took part in this day to express support to the initiators of the programs. It should also be noted that the sections of Republican stationed at the residence of the president with their head, Lieutenant Saeed Ali, that the inhabitant thanked in person. This is conducted under the programs of environmental sustainability and resilience in the country and of the Horn of Africa, funded by the agency and the international development of Sweden through the network center HOAREN of the University of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. The program Environmental Sustainability and Resilience of the Horn of Africa is implemented on this occasion. Is the inhabitant of the locality of Dai, expressed through Mr. Ali Dabale, the president of the organizing association. Its sincere thanks to its privileged partners, that is the association Djibouti Nature, is represented by Mr. Hussein Rayale in 6 countries, including our country Djibouti, of the Horn of Africa's region. Moreover, the said local association has been working for more than to implement actions of environmental awareness, local development, and protection of biodiversity in partnership with Djibouti Nature. For the international scene, the fire, Spain declares in Spain a state of natural disasters. Portugal fights against the flames in Spain. The territory affected this summer by the big fires, more than 500 hectares burned, will be declared in a state of natural disasters, a statute which must unblock helps for the striking inhabitant, announced the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, the head of the government, during a visit to Bejiz in the regions of Valencia East, has declared the state of natural disasters in the territories devastated by the great fires since the beginning of the year. Since the beginning of the year, Spain has experienced almost 400 forest fires that have swept away 287,000 hectares, according to the European Forest Fire Information System, is more than 3 times more than in 2021. In Togo, the price of gas increased. Listen to Kasra Ali.
Of gas is the center of a household concern in Togo for good reason. It has experienced a dizing increase up to 73% since August 12, faced with the distinguished and discontent aroused by this new deal. The Togolese authorities have just reviewed their copy that slightly lowered the price of this product through a subsidy of around 16 euro cents per kilogram. The measure came into effect last Friday and it results from exchange between the government and importers, but for consumer, this reduction is not enough. For the taxi driver is upset. It is blue that 10 euro bottles had gone down to around 16 euro. They have just made this small reduction. The situation remains difficult. It is therefore necessary to fire all wood consumer opt for an alternative energies such as its consequence for preservation of forests.
The former U.S. President Donald Trump is convinced to continue his battle. Listen for more detail.
Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump calls for the appointment of an independent expert. 2 weeks after the search of his home in Mar-a-Lago, Florida, Donald Trump counterattacks lawyers for the former president filed an appeal on Monday to temporarily prevent the analysis of documents seized by the FBI. They demand the appointment of an independent expert to determine the documents likely to remain confidential. Many documents classified as top secret were seized. Investigators suspect the former tenant of White House of having violated a law on a spy, which very strictly frames this detention. The billionaire's lawyer denounced the unfair treatment of their client, reaffirming that he is the favorite of the Republican primary for the presidential election of 2024 if he decided to run. Donald Trump is also under investigation into his effort to overturn the results of 2020 presidential election and his roles in his supporters' assault on the Capitol on January 6, 2021. He is currently not being prosecuted in any case.
And to close up this edition, Ukraine relaunches its football championship despite the war. Despite the war and the risks involved, Ukraine is relaunching its first division football championship. The championship was interrupted this winter after the start of the Russian invasion. For security reasons, the match will be held behind closed doors without a spectator in the region of the capital Kyiv or in the west of the country. Each time a siren is sounded to signals are read, the match will be interrupted. Players and officials will have to take refuge in underground shelters. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.